What it do? Welcome to the J-Boy Sports Podcast. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoy the content. If you don't love the content, you can still do those things because you know what? You can help a brother out, and a brother would always help you out. And the other thing you want to keep in mind is you want to comment. Let's have conversations in the comment section because these things need to be talked about. Ball is life. Hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our glorious content. And then lastly, make sure you hang on towards the end of this video because we have some other suggested videos that we know you'll love. Shannon Sharpe, back in the news again. So recently, we know two things. Shannon Sharpe apparently lost his lawsuit. I guess you could say he lost it because he had to pay out, right? And the payout supposedly was, I saw something that said $23 million. I see something else that said she was trying to get $50 million out of him. 23 is a heck of a lot, and that sucks. 50 million also sucks. Just sucks twice as much. So he's in a tough spot, man. I mean, I don't care who you are. Losing that much money for the reason that you lost it is crazy. Now, I want to make the point. I don't necessarily feel bad for Shannon Sharpe overall. This is the same man that Monique went on his podcast, and I have another video. I'll link it to this one, where I first talked about the problem with Shannon Sharpe and the stuff that he's going through. And it's because he was basically, he was making light of things. Listen, you can't mock God. I don't care what anybody says. And again, everybody that listens to this channel is not a Christian or not a spiritual person, and that's fine. But I'm just telling you from my perspective, you cannot mock God. He was on his own Club Shay Shay talking to Monique, and she was like, you need to get you an actual wife. Stop playing around with these young heifers. That's what she said, literally. I'm not calling anybody a heifer. That's her words. She said, stop playing with young heifers. That's what she said, okay? And you can, again, it's linked into this video, so you'll see it. But she came out and she said that to him. Like, you need to stop playing with these young girls. And right after that, he got in trouble with a young girl that he was doing all this weird stuff with, having slavery relations. And I say slavery because I think there was audio of her, black babies, all types of weird stuff. I'm not going to get it too graphic, but if you heard the audio, it was weird, all right? And, Shannon Sharpe pretty much did this to himself. He did this. He also said, I don't want to date my age, I want to date my wage. Well, now look at you, sir. How did that work out for you? And again, I don't dislike Shannon Sharpe. I don't love him either. Pause, no diddy. He is way too obsessed with LeBron, in my opinion. But he's entertaining. He has some good interviews. He's a fun guy to listen to. And I think he has some standards. But unfortunately, he always talks about the standards he was raised on with his grandmother and how hardworking his grandfather was. But it's just sad that once you get money, you no longer follow or abide by those. You no longer live by those things. You know what I mean? And you're paying for it. I hate to say it, Shannon. Respectfully, I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but you cannot mock God, my brother. And you know better. You know God. I know you were raised in a household that was strongly based in God. And somehow you've slipped a little bit away from that. And then these are the things that happen, brother. But now, on top of that, he also has lost his sponsorship with or his job with ESPN. Now it says that they've decided to part ways, but we all know that they were just like, yeah, we can't deal with this. We can't deal with the controversy behind this. And that's sad too, because it is entertaining to see Shannon Sharpe and Stephen A. Smith and the people sometimes on that show. I don't watch the show a lot, but I've seen clips when he was on it, and some of them were very entertaining, so that's over too. And so I say all that to say, listen, you can't mock God, guys. You can't mock him. Sitting up here running around with these loose women for the streets. When you're an older gentleman, you're not super old, but you're older. You should be settling down. You should have been settled down. Your kids should be living in your house until they turn 18 or whatever age you're comfortable letting them go at whenever they can take care of themselves. Your family should be your life at a certain point. When your life doesn't revolve around your family and it just revolves around your own selfish tendencies and desires, especially as a man, you put yourself in crazy situations. Money is not the issue here. Your mindset is the issue. Men that can't control themselves, men that cannot control themselves, I'm going to use this word because I don't have another one, sexually, they can be taken out easily. And I actually think the law is based on that. I think that's why they have the laws the way that they have them. That's why women in America can get these type of payouts, right? Is because the laws are set like that, I think, personally, to ruin high-class men. High-class men will always be a slave to their sexual desires. Every single one of them seems like they can be knocked down off of that. The ones that haven't been knocked down are seemingly because they can control that. But that's how they knock down powerful men. That's how they sabotage them. That's how they get them caught up in lawsuits. That's how they control them. Shannon Sharpe has just been controlled. You thought you were doing all this stuff. You thought you were bigger than life. Well, yeah, we're going to send this little girl your way that you can't control yourself with. And you can just give away your fortune to her for no reason whatsoever other than you were not careful and you didn't control your desires, and you should have been married, bro. Or had some type of, I believe in marriage, but at least a long-term girlfriend that you've been with forever that is dang near like a marriage. At least some people are doing that now, where they maybe get married in front of people without the state or whatever, so it's not legal. You didn't do nothing like that even, and you're paying for it. So again, I don't feel bad for Shannon Sharpe. I do think it's kind of messed up how, they can supposedly have a consensual relationship and then he ends up having to pay out all this money. And I'm going to get in trouble for saying this, but just a question. What is your body worth? I just know for me personally, if somebody violated my body, there's no amount of money that's going to make me feel comfortable. You violate my body, that's my temple, that's what God gave me, then no, it's not going to be, there's not going to be a number on it. I'm going to need some physical harm and some jail time or something if I don't get my hands on you first. Or somebody I love, the money's not going to be enough for me. Eye for an eye, blood for blood at that point. And I'm not a violent person, but money's not going to regain your innocence, in my opinion. That's just me. So, with that said, what do you think, right? Monique told him, settle your old behind down. Didn't listen. He said, I want to date my age. I want to date my wage, not my age. You were real cocky, loud, and flamboyant. And now, sadly, sir, respectfully, was it worth it? With that said, we're going to end the video here. Please like, share, and subscribe if you enjoyed the content and enjoyed this video. Comment, what do you think? Am I off base about my body being a temple and me needing, money's not good enough for me personally if somebody violated me? Am I off base for saying Shannon should have stuck to his Christian roots or at least tried to stay a little closer to them? Am I out of line for saying that, older men running around with younger women and never settling down is dangerous? Am I out of line for saying that it looks like this is how they control people? They can get you with a beautiful female and they know that. Am I out of line for saying a family is a safeguard? Because a man that has a family, hopefully, has a little bit more responsibility, is a little bit more based, a little bit more humble, works for the family, not just for his own selfish desires all the time. Am I off line for all that? Let me know. Hit me up in the comment section. Let's debate it. Have a conversation. Make sure you hit that notification bell so you don't miss any of our excellent content. Hang on towards the end of this video because we have some other suggested videos that we know you'll love, including the first video I did on this Shannon Sharpe incident with Monique talking and him saying, I want to date my wage, not my age. Look at you now. Look at me now. Look at me now. Look at me now. I'm getting paper. Yeah, that was corny. I don't care. Thank you very much for your time. Very appreciative, very humble. Thanks for listening this long. Again, very humble. Much love. That somehow you never get over leaving me.